Good morning, everyone. Today, we'll be talking about the magnetic properties. The very basic definitions in the chapter magnetic properties will be discussed in today's session. This is Keshav Vamsi Krishnavi, Associate Professor in Physics, Mallarity Engineering College. So, to start with, uh, the very first definition that we come across in magnetic properties is the magnetic pole strength. So the magnetic pole, see, every magnet has got two poles, north pole and south pole. Now, if you bring another bar magnet, let us say, closer to this first bar magnet, then depending on either north pole is facing north pole or north pole is facing south pole, there will be either repulsion or attraction. You know pretty well, like poles repel and opposite poles attract. So the the force with which the pole of a bar magnet either attracts or repels the pole of another bar magnet when it is placed at a unit distance is what is called magnetic pole strength. Let me repeat. The force with which a pole of a bar magnet either attracts or repels the pole of another bar magnet which is kept at a unit distance is what is called magnetic pole strength. Then the magnetic pole strength, it is denoted by M. So magnetic pole strength M and the magnetic length, the product of these two quantities is defined as magnetic dipole moment. So for a given bar magnet, if M is the magnetic pole strength and the 2L is its magnetic length, then magnetic dipole moment is given by magnetic dipole moment is given by product of M in and 2L. So this, let us draw one bar magnet like this. Now, let us say this is the north pole and this is the south pole. Now, the length between them or the distance between these two, uh, right. So, the distance between these two poles of the bar magnet is what is called the magnetic length. So, this magnetic length and the product of magnetic length and the magnetic pole strength is what is called the magnetic dipole moment. Now, uh, the similarly, you have one more definition which is very essential in understanding um, the concepts in uh, the concepts in the magnetism. That is uh, magnetization. So magnetization, it comes next in the sequence. So magnetization is magnetic dipole moment per unit volume. Magnetization is defined as magnetic dipole moment per unit volume. So if I am trying to magnetize a given magnetic material, then to what extent magnetic dipole moment is induced per unit volume, that gives the magnetization of that particular magnetic material. So by magnetic dipole moment, and I mean that it is the magnetic pole strength and product of magnetic pole strength and the magnetic length. And by magnetic pole strength, I mean that the force with which this pole of the bar magnet will either attract or repel a similar kind of a pole of another bar magnet. So that is what is called the magnetic pole strength. So in a nutshell, if a given magnetic material is it's very easy to magnetize, then what that indicates that if you apply a moderate amount of field, you don't need a very high strength of magnetic field. If you apply a moderate amount of field, so with that amount of magnetic field, you can magnetize the specimen. That is, you can induce sufficient magnetic dipole moment. That is, you can induce sufficient magnetic pole strength in that material. So, thereby magnetization, capital M talks about the magnetic dipole moment induced per unit volume. Now, based on this magnetization, we'll understand something about the susceptibility. Susceptibility chi, this is CHI, Greek alphabet chi. So chi is the ratio of magnetization per unit applied electric field H or strength of the applied field H. So what does this mean? So when I apply a H amount of field on a specimen on a magnetic material, so what is the magnetization induced in that specimen? It is given by the quantity, the parameter chi. So again, if I given if there are two materials, say material 1 and material 2, I apply the same amount of field H on both the materials. Now, material 1 gets magnetized to a greater extent, material 2 gets magnetized to a lower extent. Then in that case, I say that material 1 is more susceptible to the magnetic field. So thereby this parameter is given the correct name, susceptibility. So susceptible, literal meaning of susceptible is to get influenced by. So what is here that is influencing? So we have a material, a magnetic material, and our magnetic field, externally applied magnetic field, strength of the applied magnetic field is trying to magnetize the specimen. So we have two specimens as we just understood. So specimen 1 and specimen 2. Now, because susceptibility for specimen 1 is more, as I just told you, susceptibility is the uh, easiness the with which the material can be given material can be magnetized. So the what is the kind of influence that the material is subjected to when it is applied when it is brought under the influence of the applied magnetic field? So material 1 has got greater susceptibility, so it is far more influenced by the applied magnetic field than material 2. Material 2 will be sparsely influenced, whereas material 1 is strongly influenced by the applied magnetic field because susceptibility is more in the case of material 1 and susceptibility is lesser in the case of material 2. Then let us quickly recollect what we understood so far. So magnetic pole strength is the force with which the pole of a bar magnet is either attracted or repelled uh, um, by a pole of a different bar magnet. So you have bar magnet 1 and bar magnet 2. So consider north pole of bar magnet 1. So it will be a repelling or attracting a pole of a bar magnet 2 with some kind of a force. So when these two bar magnets are placed at a unit distance. So this is what we call the magnetic pole strength, and this magnetic pole strength multiplied by the magnetic length. The product of magnetic pole strength and magnetic length is defined as magnetic dipole moment, and the magnetic dipole moment induced per unit volume is called magnetization. And the magnetization induced or developed in a magnetic material with the application of a field of strength H is what is called susceptibility. If susceptibility is more, then for a given magnetic field H, we'll be getting greater amount of magnetization. In the sense, greater amount of dipole moment per unit volume. In the sense, greater magnetic pole strength, product of greater magnetic pole strength and magnetic length. In the sense, greater magnetic pole strength. Okay. Now, uh, we have a different set of definitions. So these are all one set of definitions leading to the definition of susceptibility. Similarly, we have different set of definitions leading to the definition of permeability. Later, we try to compare these two things, susceptibility and permeability, at the end of the discussion. So, flux phi is what is called the number of magnetic lines of force coming out of a bar magnet. So in our lower classes, we have done in intermediate, we have done one experiment of drawing the magnetic lines of force. So those number of magnetic lines of force is what is called magnetic flux or simply flux. Now, magnetic flux per unit area is what is called magnetic induction or magnetic flux density. So this is otherwise called magnetic flux density denoted by B. This is flux per unit area, the number of magnetic lines of force per unit area of cross section. Then we have the much awaited definition called permeability mu is equal to V by H. So permeability is the ratio of magnetic induction or magnetic flux density to the strength of the applied field H. So when you apply a magnetic field H, to what extent this magnetic field H is uh, successful in sending the magnetic lines of force through the given material, through the given magnetic material. That is decided by the parameter called permeability. Let us say we have three kinds of materials with permeability mu1, mu2, mu3, such that mu1 is lesser than mu2, lesser than mu3. Then naturally, material 1 has got least permeability while material 3 has got maximum permeability. So material 2 has got moderate permeability. So the meaning of this is when you expose these three magnetic materials, let us say 1, 2, and 3, to the same magnetic field H, then the number of lines of force penetrating material 1 will be least because its permeability is least, and the number of magnetic lines of force penetrating material 3 will be maximum because the permeability of the third material is maximum, and the number of lines of force penetrating the uh, second specimen will be moderate because the permeability is moderate. So permeability ultimately it talks about the number of lines of force passing through a specimen. It decides the number of lines of force passing through the specimen. So if permeability is large, then more number of lines of force will be penetrating the specimen. If permeability is moderate, moderate number of lines of force will be penetrating the specimen. If the permeability is minimum, then minimum number of lines of force will be penetrating the specimen. Now, what exactly is the difference between the permeability and susceptibility? So, permeability is the ability of the material to permit the lines of force to pass through that specimen. Whereas susceptibility is to what extent these lines of force that have penetrated the specimen, to what extent they can magnetize the specimen. They can induce magnetic dipole moment into the specimen. So that is given by susceptibility. So let us take various examples. So a material one has got very high permeability but very low susceptibility, right? Very high permeability but very low susceptibility. Then what happens? Because of high permeability, the material will permit very large number of lines of force to pass through it, no doubt. But these lines of force, they are not sufficient enough to magnetize the specimen to a greater extent because the susceptibility on the other side of the specimen is very poor. Because the susceptibility is very poor, the influence of magnetic applied magnetic field will be poor on material one. Now you go for second example. The permeability is high, at the same time susceptibility is also high. So what happens now? Because of high permeability, the material permits larger number of magnetic lines of force to penetrate it. And these large number of magnetic lines of force, they magnetize the specimen with a great ease because the susceptibility is also high. So that is the basic difference between permeability and susceptibility. So permeability is the ability of the material to permit or to allow the magnetic lines of force to pass through it. Whereas susceptibility is the ability of the material to get magnetized because of these lines of force. So the lines of force have entered the specimen, no doubt. Their job is to magnetize the specimen. Whether the material is permitting that those lines of force to magnetize the specimen or not, it is decided by the susceptibility of that material. So it is not enough that you have very high permeability. You should have equally higher susceptibility as well, so that the material gets uh, easily magnetized by the strength of the applied magnetic field. So let us quickly recollect before we close the session today. So the a given bar magnet, when it is brought closer to another bar magnet, then A pole of a bar magnet either attracts or repels the pole of another bar magnet uh, with some force when they both are placed at a unit distance, and this is what is defined as magnetic pole strength. So if the pole repels or attracts very strongly, then we have a greater or stronger magnetic pole strength. If it repels or attracts moderately, then it will have moderate magnetic pole strength. If the pole of a bar magnet attracts or repels very feebly, then we say the magnetic pole strength is feeble, very little. Then this magnetic pole strength and the magnetic length, the product of these two quantities is called magnetic dipole moment. And the magnetic dipole moment per unit field is unit volume rather is called magnetization. And then susceptibility is magnetization per unit applied field H. So when you apply a magnetic field H, to what extent the given magnetic bar magnet or some magnetic material for that case gets magnetized, it is decided by the parameter called susceptibility chi. Then when you apply a magnetic field, then few lines of force from that source of magnetic field will pass through this magnetic material, and those lines of force is what is called flux, and the magnetic flux per unit area is what is called the magnetic flux density or magnetic induction. Magnetic induction per unit applied magnetic field is what is called permeability. So permeability means when you apply a magnetic field of H, to what extent the magnetic lines of force are penetrated or permitted or allowed to pass through the magnetic material is what is called permeability. So you have a source of magnetic field, then you apply, you expose the given magnetic material to the source of magnetic field. Now, to what extent this considered magnetic material specimen will permit the magnetic lines of force coming out of the source of magnetic field, it is governed by, it is decided by the parameter permeability. So permeability decides how many lines of force should penetrate the specimen. Susceptibility decides to what extent these lines of force can magnetize the specimen. So this is what is called, this is what are the basic definitions in magnetic properties. We'll continue in the next case.